Welcome to Fringe Fanatics with Chad Lee and Chris Zane.
And we are back. It is Fringe Fanatics. It's Wednesday, the 1st of November.
It's officially November.
It is officially November.
Yep.
I am Chris Zane.
And I am Chad Lee. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, thank you guys. We appreciate it greatly each and every week, however you tune in, whether it's watching us live on Twitch or watching after the fact. No matter when you're watching or listening, please like and follow and subscribe. Make sure to rate us 5 stars. And if you haven't yet, please like, share, subscribe, and follow us on all things social media at Fringe_Fanatics. Now that the business is out of the way, I do have one thing to say. It is my father's birthday today.
Oh,
Yes,
sweet.
yeah.
That's cool. You didn't say that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, so he's doing the birthday thing.
Well,
today.
happy birthday, Mr. Ray.
Yeah, happy birthday, Jerry.
Yep.
So he'll be excited. We shouted him out.
Yeah. How old is he?
Cheers to you, Pops. He was born in 48, so
65?
75.
Oh, wow. I was way out.
Yeah, 75.
I was doing him a favor.
Yeah, he's rounding down. He doesn't look a day over 65. Isn't that
cool.
right, Pops?
That's cool. Nice.
So, yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
How have you been, man?
Dude, I, ever since Sunday, been recovering.
Yeah,
Been
we'll
trying to
we'll get into that
patch the
deeper
wounds.
with Mr. Gregory Maher.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. Is like since Sunday, that's what I've been dealing with. But before that, it was a great weekend. We just watched a lot of horror movies. We just kind of stayed in. We got invited to a couple of Halloween parties, but man, with it like being snowy and we live like in Kansas, basically.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
We just, yeah, you do. We want to just take it easy, and we just kind of watched it from home, or like watched stuff from home. We watched that Talk to Me.
How was it?
Fucking frightening, man.
Was
that
it good?
Was a really good one. Yeah.
Shit, we were going. Did you have to rent it?
Yeah, I rented it. Yep.
I thought it was streaming for free somewhere.
Prime to do all that. And then the second movie that we watched was Delivers from Evil with Eric Bana, back from 2009.
Delivers from Evil.
Yeah, they put it on Netflix.
That sounds super familiar, and I do feel like I remember watching a scary movie with him in it.
Yeah, I've never seen him in a scary movie. And what's weird, he's from Australia. He is like a guy from Brooklyn because it's based off a true story.
Yeah.
And anytime I watch a horror movie,
So he's
Hannah
doing like
gives
the
me a
Mark
hard time.
Wahlberg.
He's
doing like the Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, he's like has like a New York accent. He does it pretty good because I mean it's not hard to fake American accents and stuff. But still, it's like I get obsessive when I watch horror movies. I have to find out if they're a true story or not because it's way more scary if it's a true story.
Yeah, always.
And yeah, apparently he was a cop for 26 years and countered
Eric Bana.
Eric Bana definitely was a cop for 20. Yeah,
Holy
and
shit.
then became the Hulk.
Oh wow, dude,
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
He does it all.
He really is just
Yeah, I can't remember the cop's name, but yeah, he basically was a cop for 26 years and then encountered all the supernatural shit and then became a demonologist and then wrote a book. So this movie's based on that cop.
I do feel like I remember watching this a long time ago, but I feel like once I read like the the Spark Notes, I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good, but yeah, other than that, just watched football on Sunday. Got depressed, and we had a really good pot roast meal. And I ate all of it because I know you ain't wanting it.
Yeah. My mom was giving me shit about that after the fact. She's like, I agree with Chad. You are not.
You're right, Karen. Thank you.
So yeah, and then Halloween, you guys just kind of get doled out the candy, right?
Yeah, we had more trick-or-treaters than we did last time. There was like 15 or 20, so it was a good time. There was kids showing up being like, trick or treat, smell my feet, and doing the whole thing. So it was fun.
Nice. Yeah, you didn't sit out there and scare them though this time.
No,
you just had Mike Myers with the styrofoam head.
Yep, just out there.
Yeah.
But we didn't really do a whole lot for it. We just kind of passed out candy and then watched the original Halloween, the 1978.
Oh,
classic.
nice. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's always good to
Jamie
watch.
Lee
I like
Curtis.
watching the older Halloween movies, or older horror movies on Halloween, because when I was a kid we used to go trick-or-treating, and then when we come back we'd watch some old scary movies with my dad. That was like my tradition with my dad. We watched Pumpkinhead one time. You ever heard of this one?
Yeah, I do remember Pumpkinhead.
Dude, it was a weird,
it's a weird ass movie.
So nuts, man. But I remember after trick-or-treating watching that one time, I was like, damn, that is a
we
nutty
used to
movie.
do that shit back in the day too. Like my cousin was super into like Nightmare on Elm Street and all that
That's
stuff.
cool.
So we
Yeah.
were like after first before trick or treating, you have to watch the Treehouse of Horrors. Simpsons episode. Then you go
I
trick-or-treating.
see.
Then you come back and watch, some scary movie.
Tradition, man.
Yeah, it's the
It makes it
tradition
all
back
right.
in the day.
That's right. How was your weekend, dude?
Our weekend was a weird one. It wasn't the best weekend, I can say. We definitely, my phone was already dying, and I had to get a new old phone. So I got another iPhone 10 for $5 from T-Mobile.
Yeah, that's not a bad deal.
Because I'm not about to be paying no fucking $900 for an iPhone right now. So I was like,
the titanium.
Nah, I don't need titanium. Mined by orphan children, along with all the lithium.
So was that one.
Yeah, I know, but still, this one was already done many years ago. So it's
been rectified.
It was before we
since then.
knew about that, so it's grandfathered in.
So, yeah, it's pure. It's pure.
And then Friday, dude, the cat, Butch, rest in peace, unfortunately, had I don't know, man. It was really weird. It was exactly like what happened with Dewey.
Yeah.
He was fine. I mean, he was obviously having some issues, but then out of nowhere, dude, he couldn't see. He's super confused. Could barely use his back legs. And dude, the same thing happened to the cat. It's so weird. Friday, she got up on the chair and looked at me, and I was looking at her, and I was like, "What are you looking at?" I was like, "The cat." And she's like, "Why?" I was like, "I don't know. I feel like she looks weird right now." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I don't know. Her eyes look weird. I think she just had gone blind overnight."
Whoa.
Her eyes were super big and dilated, and they looked cloudy all of a sudden. And I was like,
Yeah.
she looks weird, and she was still able to move around then. But then Saturday, she could barely walk, and then Sunday was getting stuck, turning around, and she went by the front door and was just going in circles.
Oh my god.
And I was like, shit. And then Monday, I knew I should have just called before I even left the house, because I was like, I have a feeling I'm going to be getting a call real soon that I'm going to need to go home.
Yeah.
And then, no shit, I'm 5 minutes from work, and Meryl called me freaking out. And she's like, I think we got to take her in. And I was like, fuck, dude. So that was sad, but
It's very sad.
she's
Probably for the
better
best,
off
though.
now.
That's
So
right, man.
it
Cross the
sucks.
rainbow bridge, as they say.
19 and 3/4 years with that cat.
That's a
so-
great life. I'm sure Meryl made a lot of good memories with that cat.
Yeah, and then she, got to use my lap as her throne for a long time,
Yeah,
so
that's true.
she got that. But yeah, so that was a definite bummer. Other than that, though, we did a lot of hanging out, watching movies and
Cool.
shit.
Yep.
Started watching Midnight Mass on
That's
Netflix.
a weird fucking show, man.
Super weird. I didn't know what was going on.
Oh, yeah.
We just got spoiler alert.
It's
there's-
been out for a couple
I
years.
know.
I think.
Because she wants to watch the new one, and I was
Dude,
like,
we tried.
it wasn't good.
We got 4, maybe 3 episodes in, and then the weirdness happens, and that's when we just both looked at each other like, well, that's it. All
See,
right.
and I have a feeling it's gonna turn into American Horror Story, because I remember watching the first season of that, and I was like, this is a good show.
Yeah.
And then I started watching the second season, and then halfway in, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
That's the
right
season
now?
that a lot of people love, is The Coven, I think was the second season.
Yeah, or the second or third one. But yeah, it just got so weird, and I was like, I think I'm over this.
I couldn't
show.
stand the Ryan Murphy stuff towards the last 5 years. There's maybe one good one every now and then, but it'll start off really good, and I really think that's what Mike Flanagan's been doing, because the Haunting on Hill House was amazing.
That was a good show.
Dude.
Yeah, we
It
watched it. It was super
so
good.
fucking
Yeah.
scary. I mean, it terrified me when I watched it. And then the Bly Manor came out, super boring. Then Midnight Mass came out, and then now this House of Usher came
This
out.
one has been good, but now I got to that fucking where we just spoiler alert again. It's the old man is the new priest that shows up, and he's got bit by a vampire, and I was like, whoa,
Yep.
what's happening now?
That's where it is. That's what I'm saying, dude. It's these shows, they'll have something, and then it's
Yeah.
oh, that's it. That's the
Yeah.
weird, because it's obviously all horror has something crazy in it. It's not unknown to have a vampire or a werewolf or
Yeah.
something in it, but I don't know, dude. That's why Hill House was so good. It was just ghosts, just hunting.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the best shit instead of sci-fi crazy shit.
Yeah, and then we watched the Nun 2 last night, and it was a good time. But yeah, again, it's not. I knew when all the scary shit was coming. I was calling it. I'm like, something's about to happen.
Yep.
Here it comes,
And
it
there it
happened.
Yep.
And I was like, damn it got me. And
I wonder
was
if
like,
it's
nah.
done by James Wan too, because that comes from the Conjuring whole franchise, and there's
Yeah.
7 movies in that now. because we tried
Now
watching.
they got
The
another
Nun.
one. They got a whole other spinoff.
Yeah, there's a ton of it, dude. But James Wan was so good in the beginning, and I mean, Conjuring 2 was awesome. Even the first Annabelle, I wrote it off for the longest time, and yeah, I mean, it's just they just go downhill. It's like they get so full of themselves, they just stop trying.
I mean, it kind of happened with Walking Dead too. Like at a certain point,
I heard
it's
that.
like, fuck, this has been going on too long.
It's unfortunate. Well, talk to me. Check that one out.
All right, I will definitely. I thought you were like, are you telling me to
That's
talk to
what's
you
weird
right now?
is when you say the title, it's like, oh, you want me to talk
What do you
to
want me to do?
All right, I thought we were talking.
Well, yeah, let's. Well, we're not taking a leadoff shot today.
No, but you know what we got to cover too. This is the 58th episode.
Oh shit!
And I have
You're
been
right.
waiting, and I couldn't wait.
I was
dude.
trying to skip by it.
And
Just
there
to
you
hurt
were.
your feelings.
Yep. You even tried picking somebody else that is definitely worthy.
Yeah,
of,
yeah.
You know, the honorary who this episode's dedicated to. But 58 right here, the famous, my favorite Chief, Derek Thomas.
Yes, sir. Derek
Yep.
Thomas.
All right.
Rest in peace.
Rest in
Taken
peace,
way too early.
Tragically, too, unfortunate.
Yeah. So break it down for us. I'll let you run this one.
One of the best defensive ends in football history. Definitely the Chiefs. There's a lot of people that'll say that, you know, there's different ones that'll kind of rival him, but in his short stint, it is one of the best 11 seasons in NFL history. Just to run down this, his rookie year, 1989, Defensive Rookie of the Year, and then 2-time first-team All-Pro, 3-time second-team All-Pro, 9-time Pro Bowler, 2-time NFL forced fumbles leader. He was the NFL sacks leader in 1990. He got voted to the 1990s All-Decade team. And he's in the Chiefs Hall of Fame. They retired the number 58. He in college at Alabama, he won the Butkus Award. And more importantly,
Butkus
holds one of the most prized NFL records in my eyes, which is there's the Michael Strahan's most sacks in a season. Because for defensive players, there's really not a lot of records that's like the home run record or the rushing title or anything like that.
Yeah.
The ones that they have are the sack leaders. And Derek Thomas still has the sack record in a game with 7. And it was against it was Seattle Seahawks when they were in our division.
Oh, yeah. Oh, back in the old AFC West days. Yeah, and then unfortunately, in 1999, he was in a car crash that rendered him paraplegic, and then unfortunately had a pulmonary embolism that took him 2 weeks later. So he was definitely probably would have gone on to be one of the best defensive ends in NFL history. He still is up there, but I think he would have been top 3, easily.
Reggie White and those other guys like Lawrence Taylor and stuff. Like, it's just nuts. The Nuggets game has kicked off.
Oh, shit. Mike Malone's already mad.
Tipped off. That's a weird way to put it. Kicked off.
Tipped off.
That's what Jokic does sometimes, is kick the ball.
He does. And if you saw that pass the other night, that three-quarter court pass, oh, my God. Even the cameraman's like, what just happened?
Where'd
He's
the
like,
ball
did he
go?
just throw that in the stands?
Fools the cameraman. Unbelievable.
Anyways.
Let's just finish this real quick. Hats off to Derek Thomas, one of the greatest Chiefs ever.
Number 58.
And, you know, anytime during the offseason, it's almost at least once a year during the offseason where I start to miss football, what I'll do is just YouTube Derek Thomas highlights. You don't have to be a Chiefs fan. If you just like hard-hitting, amazing sacks that demolish quarterbacks because they can't play like this these days, watch Derek Thomas highlights.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Go check him out. Good stuff to watch.
Chris,
it's
let's get
time.
into some headlines, man.
Let's do it, man. Let's get into some freaking headlines.
Headlines! Get your headlines here!
All right.
Let's cover the injuries.
Let's do it. Oh, we should get like an ambulance sound or something.
That's what
we needed.
An ambulance. We were trying to think of it last week as like a
It was
bummer
always
sound.
great in like Madden 94 whenever you hurt somebody and then the ambulance drove onto the field.
Oh, no shit. I forgot about that. That's awesome.
All right. So
That's
we're
a good call. We're going to
get
do
into the
that.
injuries. You want to run the new sound bite, right? For football, correct?
We got a couple. We're going to do the one for the deep dive, and then let's hit this one.
We're going to hit this one right now.
I'm a bury your family! Check! Now that's football!
Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah, that is football, and unfortunately,
That is a good one to use for the injuries. And if people don't know, that is John Favreau.
Yeah,
the maker of Iron Man.
And the replacements and many other. I mean, The Mandalorian.
Yep.
What else? Shit, so many
Complete
things.
legend. The Chef, which is an amazing movie.
I didn't watch
That's
that
what's
one.
so wild. Is like watching that movie. Like, wow, that's Jon Favreau. Like, he was so different back then.
And if you watch him in this movie, he's an absolute maniac.
He
which is
plays
funny
a
as shit.
complete maniac. And what's funny? Did you ever watch the movie with Vince Vaughn? I know I'm just like all over the place, but Four Christmases.
Yeah, when he's the asshole.
Yeah, he played the asshole brother. And it's like, damn, dude, I can't even recognize Jon
Yeah,
Favreau. But yeah, Replacements, awesome movie. And to go over some unfortunate injuries from Week 8.
Yes.
Start off with the big one. Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles.
Yeah, again, if you watch that video, much like Aaron Rodgers, you can see that thing pop.
Oh, man, it's weird.
Yeah, it's so weird. That's a definite bummer, as they are now trying to figure out what they're going to do. We'll talk about what they did do, and we'll see how that plays out here in a little bit. Another injury, Drake London, groin. He's on the basically see how it goes this week as to whether or not he will be playing. What do you got? Another one? Let's go. Just go tit for tat here.
Yep, I got Grady Jarrett. Yep, another Falcon knee did not return in that game.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yep.
Also, another knee. Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker, knee. Not season-ending, but could miss multiple games. So we'll see how that goes over the next coming weeks. And then, yeah, what's the next one, Chad?
The Chiefs.
Yeah.
Willie Gay hurt his butt bone.
Yeah, which with that last name, those two things together sound a little strange.
Yeah, it makes for a weird sentence. Yeah, hurt his tailbone, did not return, and did not practice today.
Yeah, and so it's looking like he may be a game time decision this week if he is going to go. Let's talk about the New England Patriots.
They were losing wide receivers.
Losing wide receivers. Devontae Parker, concussion. He did practice, so we'll see if he is going to be ready to go. I'm assuming now that he's practicing, he has passed concussion protocol. The other big news, though, as I don't know who the hell they are going to throw the ball to at this point, Kendrick Bourne, ACL, done for the year.
Juju Smith-Schuster, he's there still.
Yeah, that's true, but he's kind of on the downturn.
Yeah, Kendrick Bourne tore his ACL.
That's a shitty one. Always the ACLs.
I hate to see that.
Hit us with another one, Chad.
All right, Giants, Darren Waller hurt his other hamstring, and news came out today that he's looking like he's going to miss multiple weeks.
Yeah, the guy is completely hamstrung. Also on the Giants, Tyrod Taylor, ribs, was taken to the hospital for evaluation. Released, he is week to week. I think they're going to be rolling with, forget his name right now, I wrote it down, Tommy... What the fuck?
Oh, Tommy DeVito?
Tommy DeVito. TD,
dude. Man, I think he was like a little kid in the Goodfellas movie or something. I don't know, man.
Yeah, he looks
that'd
cool.
That'd be way too old. But, man, yeah, he is Italian as fuck.
Yeah, he's super cool.
Yeah, he does.
I feel bad for him. But what's the next one, Chad?
The Steelers, Kenny Pickett, ribs, is going to play tomorrow night. And then the guy that's not going to play, their star safety, Minka Fitzpatrick.
Minka Fitzpatrick, hamstring. He will not play. That's right. Could miss more than just this week, so we'll see what happens there. Chad, do you have any more injuries?
That's all
to
I got.
note?
All the notable ones.
The notable ones are down. Let's get into the news of the week, and it's big news.
Big week.
I said when they hired him, it was only a matter of time before Hurricane Josh just destroyed the Raiders, and here we are. Devontae Adams is on the sideline calling Jimmy Garoppolo a bitch, basically. I think if you read his lips as he sits down, wow. I think he says, guy's a fucking bitch. He did overthrow him wide open multiple times in this game.
That was nuts, man. I was watching that game very closely, and he overthrew him by a mile. And you could see Devontae Adams on the sidelines just like shaking his head.
Yeah, he slams his helmet down. So basically, after a 3-5 start, which there are other teams in this league with a 3-5 start, which it looks totally different. The Broncos being one of them, especially when you're on the uptick. But this 3-5 start got McDaniels and GM Dave Ziegler fired. McDaniels 9-16 as the Raiders head coach, and 20-33 all time head coaching. Yeah. He made it a little bit longer as the Broncos coach. I think that was all due to his first year starting out 6-0, and then things falling apart, and then Tebow.
Thanks to him being able to videotape practices and stuff.
Well, he's probably still doing that. We'll see what happens here.
It would be helping him.
It definitely seems weird, though, at the timing, because you let these guys do your basically go through the trade deadline with what's going to happen with your teams, these guys at the helm, and then fire them. It almost makes me feel like maybe something happened. Maybe there was a breakdown between, God damn it, what's his name?
Devontae?
No, the owner. God damn
Mark
it.
Davis?
Mark Davis, yeah, fucking haircut. I think maybe there was some falling out there on what they were doing with the trade stuff. Maybe McDaniels wanted to trade Adams. I don't know. Something happened. Maybe Adams and whoever came to Mark Davis and were like, if you don't get rid of this guy, we're just going to boycott this team or something. Because
I'm sure
it's very strange that they did it now. You think you would have done it before now, but because things were already going awry.
I think that's maybe why the GM got fired too, is because they didn't deal Devontae. I think it's definitely along those lines.
Or that they wanted to. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah,
because I think with all that they gave away to get him, you don't want to trade him away already.
No, you definitely don't. But I mean, it's like, why have a guy in there that like hates it that much? Like, you just. To do the right and the noble thing is to just go ahead and send him to a team where he has actually a chance to win.
Yeah. Well, now we see they're benching Jimmy Garoppolo going forward.
Yeah, going with Aiden O'Connell.
Aiden O'Connell the rest of the way. Linebacker coach Antonio Pierce will be the interim head coach for the rest of the season. The Broncos will probably lose because last time the Raiders got fired a coach, which was John Gruden, Rick Bisaccia came in on like really a half a week and kicked the Broncos' ass.
Yeah.
So I also saw that I think basically 25% of Josh McDaniels' wins as a Raiders head coach were against the Broncos. So the Broncos always just with the good stats.
Helping them stat pad.
Yeah.
Well, I want to bring up a quote here from Colin Cowherd that had something to say about it today. He goes, "Let's put the Patriot way to bed. It was the Tom Brady way." And when it comes to this whole situation, it really, like, the thing that you can declare from this, proximity to greatness does not equal greatness. That, to me, sums it up the best. Because you look at these other guys that have left Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Bill O'Brien.
Yep.
Failed. The only one that hasn't is
Mike Vrabel's the
Mike
closest.
Vrabel, yeah.
But
and even then, he could be fired.
You look what happened. Tom Brady left.
Maybe not with Will Levis. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, who knows? But then you look at up there, Bill Belichick's still not winning. So it's like, there's the greatness was Tom Brady.
Yeah. Well, and we talked about it last week. They extended him, so we'll see what's going to go on there. But I bet you next year, McDaniels will go back to Papa.
Oh, I bet so. Yeah, he'll go to Papa. Yeah. Daddy, can I get my job back?
Please. The crazy thing, though, is the Raiders will now be paying John Gruden and Josh McDaniels $80 million to not coach their team.
That's so crazy, man.
But when you think about it, the Broncos, I was telling this to Dan earlier today, I was like, I think the Broncos might still be paying VJ from the last time he was a coach.
Jesus.
It's been that long.
Could he be getting a check for
he's
current?
Yeah,
and
then get double checks, dude.
That's pretty fucking wild.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's just nuts that the Raiders keep
That's what
doing
you call
this.
winning.
I mean, who are they going to hire as their coach that actually might stick? I mean, I think if they would have stuck with Bisaccia, they could be in a better place.
I thought that same thing, too, and I thought it was ridiculous that they didn't give him a better shake than they did, because I think they said, it's the Raiders, so I don't really keep up on them. I thought they gave him an interview, but they might not even have interviewed Rick Bisaccia.
Oh, I don't think they did. Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And is that all you got for the news other than trades?
Let's run down some trades. That's all I've really got.
So, yeah, the trade deadline was 2 p.m. Mountain Time on Tuesday, and this is what happened. Really a lot of fucking nothing, man.
It's every year, though, dude. It's not like
there was
the
11
NBA.
last year, dude. There was 11.
That's still not that many when you think
compared
about
to the NBA, yes, but that's still way more than this year.
In the NBA, there's like 5-team trades and shit.
It's fucking nuts, man. I was so bored with yesterday. It blew.
Yeah, Chad was upset. They didn't get wide receivers, so he was all mad.
I was mad, yeah.
He's like, fuck that. I saw him over there on his lift, all angry by himself, just cursing.
Hit my horn.
Beep, 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 beep. But yeah, so a lot of trades, I guess, did happen. Some of which is just unfair to some degree, and also the Commanders. I don't know if they know the value of things really, but We'll get into it right now. First trade, which I think we were just talking about, is completely unfair at this point. Chase Young goes to the San Francisco 49ers for a third-round pick. This is a former second overall pick. Sorry, I said that fucked up.
And a guy
second overall pick.
Was a destroyer in college.
Absolutely destroyed people in college. Unfortunately, has not been able to stay healthy, but he will not be needed to be on the field at all times when you run down the murderer's row that is their defensive line now.
First year into the league, I think it was only within a few games, he tore his ACL while also tearing his patellar tendon, which that injury is a little worse than just the regular torn ACL because you just rip up all those ligaments. So that was really unfortunate for him. And then now, he's looks pretty good this year.
Yeah, he hasn't been doing too bad. The other thing, though, Montez Sweat, which I think sounds like a 1990s R&B star, he
a good
also leaves the Commanders as they are having a fire sale. Montez Sweat goes to the Bears for a 24 second-round pick, and you might think that's weird because I think Montez Sweat was like a 5th-round pick. He was definitely a higher pick.
Yeah, but he's a guy that's really stepped it
way
up.
more productive this year, though.
Yeah. And last year, he had a good year last year, too.
He did,
He's just been on the rise.
Well, he got all that playing time because Chase Young went down.
Exactly.
But so those are two things. Also with the Commanders, there are rumblings Ron Rivera may be fired in the coming weeks as grumblings are coming out that Bieniemy is the head coach behind the scenes, basically, is what I heard. So
yeah. And they almost beat the Eagles last week. I really like
I was blown away when I was like, oh, fuck, they're winning.
Yeah, it sucked, man, because I have Hurts, and so it just blew me away that it took that much for them to come back and win that game. So
yeah, definitely. Hit us with the next trade, Chad.
All right, the Giants traded Leonard Williams to Seattle, a veteran, a guy that's got 1 year left on his contract, and he's a guy that's due to make a lot of money.
Yeah,
and a big defensive tackle. And Seattle's 5-2, I think, right now.
They could possibly win the division over San Fran at this point with the way things are going.
Yeah, the way San Fran's been going. I mean, that's just it. Like, they can bolster up their defense all they want, but like without Debo, they are a whole nother team. You got to have him.
The score on the TV.
I know,
it's upsetting.
Oh man, they're just making stupid mistakes tonight.
It's okay. They'll come back.
Yeah.
But anyways, what's the next one here? Let's go. Oh, the Vikings, after Kirk Cousins goes down, they do trade for Josh Dobbs from the Cardinals. They get a 7th-round pick as well as Josh Dobbs for a 6th-round pick. This is going to be possibly the plan going forward, but I did hear that Jaron Hall, the rookie quarterback, will be starting this week.
Yep.
And then Josh Dobbs will get acclimated, and depending on how that goes, we may see the future of the Vikings, or we may see the beginning of Josh Dobbs, which who knows at this point. The Kirk Cousins might be done there.
I'd say he's probably done in Minnesota.
So we'll see. Next one, Chad. Here's the next one.
All right, Donovan People-Jones to the Lions.
Yeah. 6th-round pick was all they had to give up to get him, and he has been. Last year, he did have a couple breakout games. I do remember just from fantasy's sake.
He's just never really had a good quarterback there to throw to.
Never had a good quarterback, and then they also, they had OBJ at the time, and then fucking what's
Amari
his name?
Cooper's there too.
Yeah, so he was kind of falling by the wayside just in terms of the wide receiver room. Big one, Packers trade Rasul Douglas to the Bills for a 24 3rd and 5th-round pick. Rasul Douglas was one of the Green Bay Packers who was the most vocal about the way things are going this season, so it makes sense to get him out of there and let him go on to greener pasture, so to speak.
And he was definitely their best guy in the secondary. So,
yeah. But they did get a decent haul back. I mean, that's two picks for him, so, what else you got? That's all I have, really.
Yep, I think that's all I got.
Right.
Like I said, there wasn't a whole lot of trades.
No, but there are trades in the NBA, at least one big one, and you're about to hear about it after this.
Get into it.
Come on. I'm burning. My lungs are burning.
fuckery to go by.
Right. Yeah, no. We get everybody's like Super Bowl, dude. That's the way it is.
Well, that's how it's going to be all year.
Yep.
When you win it all, people try to take down the best.
And something that James Harden has never known about.
Yes, and the Los Angeles looking good on paper Clippers send Harden. They get Harden, PJ Tucker, and Philippe Petrosev to the Clippers for Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, Nick Batum, KJ Martin, a 2028 unprotected first-round pick, 2 second-round picks, a 2029 pick swap, an additional first-round pick from the Oklahoma City Thunder.
That's a lot.
That's all that they gave up. And at this point, we were talking about it yesterday. They're already into the luxury tax, like $140 million.
Yeah.
They now have traded away all of their picks, and they have the, 2015 Oklahoma City Thunder Redux, basically.
Yeah,
Paul
no,
George,
for sure.
Russell Westbrook, James Harden.
and Kawhi Leonard that can't ever stay healthy. Misses a lot of games.
It's okay because that's just one less guy for the other three to fight over the ball with when
That's
he's not
right.
playing, because that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, I can't imagine Ty Lue trying to take this on and trying to get these guys to work together, to try to share the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nuts. 'Cause Harden led the league in assists last year with like 11.5.
Yeah.
But what's he going to do this year?
I
mean,
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be interesting to watch how this transpires, especially moving forward, because they have kind of hamstrung themselves in terms of how you're going to build this once it's over, which, with the way James Harden is, could be next year for all we know.
He's not happy long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's basically tried to get his dream scenario like 3 or 4 times now, and it's failed miserably every time.
I guarantee you, something's going to go wrong here, and he's going to force his way out from the Clippers.
The only other thing I really have in the NBA in terms of news, unless you want to touch on the Bobby Knight thing in the NBA, because we're not really touching on.
I just got a couple other things, but
Okay, well, let's hear it.
Well, the Nuggets pick up right where they left off. They're 4-0 right now.
That's
and
very
I probably
true.
jinxed myself for writing that down because currently right now they're down 23-13 to the Timberwolves.
That's a foul.
Yep. And, they're in Minnesota. They've won 4 games, but for so far, I mean, Jokic has already had 2 triple-doubles.
He should get an offensive foul for that. He had
He
Jokic
threw
in
his
the ribs.
Yeah, he threw his. That's probably why they're
What a
reviewing
dick.
it. But anyway, yeah, it's just nuts. The Nuggets doesn't seem like they missed a beat from the playoffs last year.
No, there is definitely no sense of a championship hangover when it comes to the Nuggets. Jokic already has 3 triple-doubles, I believe. He's now tied with LeBron at 107. We'll see if he gets another one tonight to
And
pass
Jason
LeBron.
Kidd.
We talked about it the other day, too. Did it in 800 less games than LeBron,
And
too.
that, to
So,
me, is the most mind-blowing stat out of any.
and Russell Westbrook, who now is the current sole leader of the triple-doubles, I think at 197, did it in like 1,200 and some games. So Jokic is going to do it before him, probably.
He's
even.
averaging about 29 per year.
So, yeah, it's pretty wild to just watch
29 or
this
23,
absolute domination when it comes to basketball. And it's just some guy that nobody else really cares about. So.
The pass that we were talking about earlier was, what was that, Friday night against the Grizzlies? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Grizzlies were all pissed off about a call and were just like moping back to go play defense. And so Jokic takes the ball from inbounds and throws it cross court from
Alley-oop.
inbounds to Aaron Gordon just with a backwards alley-oop.
Yeah, it was insane.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, the guy has eyes all over the court because
And
he
an
knows
arm,
everything.
man.
So,
He can launch the ball like
he
a
really
bullet.
does have like one hell of an arm to launch a basketball with that much accuracy. It's pretty wild to watch at times.
I'd like to see him throw a football. Let's see, floater. Ooh, that was pretty. He's
We're
so
back
good
in
at that
this,
floater.
dude.
All right. Yep. I gotta
We're
have
only
faith.
down 7. It's
Gotta
the
have
first
faith.
quarter, dude. We all good. It's
Oh, yeah.
tight.
Well, the other team that's on a hot streak right now too is the Mavs, who are undefeated at 3-0. They're going to be playing tonight. I'll look at who they're going to be playing, and the story from them though isn't Kyrie. It's
No.
Luka. Luka is balling out. It's only been 3 games, but he had like a 49-point game the other night. And so just in those 3 games, he's averaging 39, 12, and 10. And I wanted to bring this up because Friday night, once the in-season tournament starts, Yeah, we play the Mavs, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, in which we tried to read about the in-season tournament before the show started. I might be more confused now than I was before.
I'm way more confused than before.
And we don't really understand the point of it. We might run down it a little bit here, but there is one other thing. Is there anything else you want to cover?
No, I just want to mention how I think it's probably easier to learn how to play Go, the Chinese chess game, than to understand the in-season.
I don't understand what the point is. You get a trophy, but you might have to play 1 or 2 more games that don't count towards the regular season out of it. Super strange, but the one thing before we kind of gloss over it, I did want to mention is Embiid was fined $35,000 for doing the Degeneration Next Suck It sign. If you were growing up in the 90s into the early 2000s,
right here.
NWO, Degeneration Next, you would know what the Suck It sign is. He did it one too many times. If you've watched the Key and Peele episode about Celebration, you can only thrust 3 times. Unfortunately, Embiid did the Suck It gesture 4 times, warranting a $35,000 fine. It did happen, though, right in the third quarter with 2 minutes and 14 seconds left after he took a full court pass and made a layup. He did finish this game with 35 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, and 6 blocks. That's a pretty good stat line.
6 blocks.
Yeah.
Man, that's good. Dude,
So,
Peyton Watson's been
Peyton
coming
Watson,
on.
I had 3 in 5 seconds.
That's what we're calling him now. It's Peyton Swatson.
Swatson.
That Oklahoma City Thunder game was insane. No, not that game. It was the Grizzlies game. They were blocking shots left and right.
Yeah, those guys are getting so pissed off.
It was like watching the 8th graders play against seniors or something, man. I couldn't believe it.
Peyton Watson, sorry to get all homerish on you guys, but Peyton Watson may be the shining star of this year. Him and Strother are getting a lot more playing time than I thought. I saw Strother playing in the second quarter.
I know.
So
I'm surprised how much Strother's getting.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes.
I'm gonna have to look this up on my phone.
What are you looking up?
Just the NBA scores, just to see who. It's like almost everybody's playing tonight.
All right, while you look that up,
the Bucks are still down to the Raptors.
I'm gonna
right
read
now.
to you guys real quick what Wiki says about the NBA in-season tournament, and then we're gonna move on. It is a basketball tournament contested during the 23-24 NBA season. It's the first edition of this tournament. All 30 teams will participate, playing regular season games that count towards the tournament standings. That in and of itself is very confusing.
Yep.
The knockout round, semifinals, and final will be played at T-Mobile Arena on the Las Vegas Strip. The initial groups were revealed during the tournament announcement on July 8th, 23. The teams were allocated into 5 pots per conference based on the 22-23 regular season standings. Pot 1 had the teams with the best records, all the way to Pot 5, teams with the worst records. This is what's weird. I think the group stage is what starts on Friday. Each conference is divided into 3 groups. Regular season games played on Tuesdays and Fridays. No other games count other than Tuesdays and Fridays between November 3rd and November 28th. They do count towards the regular season standings, and they also count towards the in-season tournament standings. Again, very confusing. Tiebreakers. In the event that 2 or more teams in a group have equal records upon completion of group play, the following tiebreakers are applied in this order: head-to-head record in the group stage, point differential in the group stage, total points scored in the group stage, regular season record from the 22-23 regular season, and random drawing.
Wow.
Do you see what we mean, people?
Yeah.
I've read about this now 3 times, and I'm more confused.
So we'll just tell you guys, keep you updated on who's winning and the results of it.
Yeah, so I'm going to read one more thing. It's the knockout stage. Each group's winner advances to the knockout stage, as does one wild card from each conference. There's wild cards in this, in case you didn't know. The group runner-up with the best group stage record. Quarterfinal games will be played in NBA local markets on December 4th and 5th, with the teams in the top 2 group stage records in each conference hosting. The semifinals will be played on December 7th, and the championship will be on December 9th. The final 2 rounds will be played at T-Mobile Arena. So yeah, quarterfinal and semifinal games also count as regular season games affecting teams' positions in the league, but the final does not. So that final game, you were effectively playing 83 games now.
That's what I was wondering about. You've got to be playing an extra game.
You play that final game does not count towards your regular season standings or records. So
I would be pissed.
So if you win that and then you get to the end of the season and you've played one more game than everybody else, that doesn't count towards you. And how does that make sense?
No, it doesn't make any sense. That's what.
Oh, man. If you guys know what's going on, please tell us.
Help us.
We have no idea what's happening. All right, let's get on to let's get an F1 real quick.
Let's do it.
Everybody loves some F1. We for sure do. And we love the sounds they make because this is a fun one.
That's a good one.
Well, much like every week, we talk about the F1. Verstappen wins again. It's his record-breaking 16th in Mexico, breaking his own record of 15, which he tied last week. He is now tied for 4th all-time on F1's Grand Prix winners. He's tied with Alain Prost at 51 wins. Unfortunately for his teammate Sergio Perez, things did not go as well. He was racing in his home country. He's knocked out literally in the first corner as him and Verstappen were jockeying for the Ferraris, Charles Leclerc and God damn it, I forget what the fuck is his other name? Shit. Anyways, so he collided with Charles Leclerc, ends up crashing. He's done for the race. He's seen like crying afterwards. It's super sad. Had it not been for that contact, both Red Bulls may have been leading out of turn one as they made quick work of both of the Ferraris, who had claimed the top 2 pole positions. Leclerc's Ferrari did sustain some damage, and the pit crew was able to fix that on lap 39 after Kevin Magnussen hit the wall really hard in turn 9, causing a red flag. Thankfully, he was okay, only seemed to be winded once he got out of the car. The red flag, though, did allow Verstappen to basically just take off and never look back, because once they got into the caution stuff and out of the red flag, he was in first. He just took off and never looked back as he usually does. A few laps later, though, Hamilton passed Leclerc and held on to finish second ahead of Leclerc and Sainz in third. That's who it is, Carlos Sainz. That's the other Ferrari driver. So Ferrari goes third and fourth. Verstappen does win. Driver of the day was Lando Norris. He raced one hell of a race, going from 15th to 5th.
I thought it was 17th.
Was it?
Yeah, I was reading an article on, I think it was 17th.
Which is insane. Like we've always said, it is very hard to get ahead in Ferrari, in F1.
Qualifying is so important.
Yeah, and had it not been for him getting knocked out in the third qualifying round, there is a good chance he may have been on the podium yet again, if not battling Verstappen for first. So.
Oh, yeah.
It was definitely a good race in Mexico. It was one of the later starts. I believe it started at 2:30.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Chad was able to watch it, but unfortunately he was watching the Chiefs and the Broncos game.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's why I said that. It's the first time since 2015 I've been able to feel happy after one of these games, so I'm rubbing it in.
Yeah, he deserves it.
I'm doing it a lot less than I should be, and it's because I'm a good friend.
And it's because I don't rub it in much.
Yes, you do. All the fucking time,
no.
dude. 15
Only when you bring it up.
15
It was 16-0.
I know.
Yeah.
That was before the last one.
You just did it.
I know. So,
yeah. But dude, it was a bummer about Sergio Perez though, because he's a Mexican racer, and then he really wanted to have a good race, but having that wreck to start off, and then I guess the mechanics tried to repair his car, and they just eventually said, "Yeah, "No, dude, like we're just gonna call it."
I mean, he basically hit the Leclerc's back tire and like jumped over.
Yeah, it was a really wild still picture of it, man. Just went boom.
Yeah, and with these cars, you're lucky when you go airborne that you don't just fucking flip over
and just fuck everything up too. Yeah,
slide on your head like Cool Running style.
Oh, dude, such a great movie. I love that.
Oh, there's probably, I don't know where we'd use it for, but there's got to be some good Cool Running shit.
Soundbite from that movie.
No idea what we'd use it for.
What was the thing that he would say before they would take off? He was like,
feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme, get on up, it's bobsled time.
I can't believe you remember that shit. That's awesome.
Dude, John Candy was in that movie. That's a fucking great movie.
I love that movie, man. That's a Disney movie too.
Yeah, it's a good Disney movie.
Oh yeah, before they start sucking. Let's get into
college. Oh shit, I did it again.
You loved it.
Fucking, I need to move it.
Yeah, college football, man.
College football.
But that's what I was going to say about F1. This weekend, it's Sao Paulo in Brazil.
Sao Paulo. I forget what time that one is, but it's probably early.
I bet it's around the same time, because that's why last week it was basically in Mountain Time.
That's true.
Central Time, I think, or something like that. Because I think it came on at 1 for us.
Calendar and results. Sao Paulo, 10 a.m.
Damn, you're right. It is early.
So a little bit earlier. It's not 7 in the morning or 6 in the morning. You
I
know,
think that's because
so
Brazil's a little more east than where we're at.
oof, those
Brazilians.
Brazilians.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
All right.
yeah. So let's get into college football right now.
Let's do it.
390. Check. Check. Red 18. Red 18. Needle dick. Needle dick. Needle dick.
So violent.
It's violent hits.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing but violent hits from Bobby Boucher. So yeah, let's get into it a little bit here with the college football. The rankings came out. How do you feel about him, Chad? He's watching the Nuggets.
Yeah, Christian Brown.
We're still only down 7. Dude, we're fine.
No, I was mad that they called this offensive foul on Christian Brown. I get distracted easily.
Well, it doesn't help that he's a Kansas boy, and you're just infatuated with him.
Well, he's a damn good player. He's got super bright shoes on tonight, man.
He
It's
does.
cool.
Are those
Yeah.
green?
Yeah, it's like a highlighter green.
Highlighter green. All right,
So
so
college football rankings came out yesterday, and to everybody's shock, Ohio State was ranked above Georgia.
which I don't know how. How
Well,
can you rank them? I mean,
Strength of schedule.
okay,
Yeah, because
fair enough.
AP poll is the Associated Press, obviously, but yeah, the rankings are done by the NCAA, I believe, and then so yeah, it went Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, and then FSU, Florida State.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember who was 5th. I think it was Washington, and then 6.
Yeah,
Do you remember
I
who
think
6
so.
was?
Well, I gotta go with rankings.
I don't
All right,
think it
sorry.
was Alabama. But I think it might have been Alabama.
Yeah, maybe.
But it could have been Oregon, because Oregon had a fucking huge win.
Rankings. Let's go. And it's taking forever as per usual. This is great podcasting. Yes, Washington in 5th, Oregon in 6th, Tejas in 7th, Alabama in 8th, OU in 9th, and Ole Miss in 10th.
Nice. Yep.
So, yeah.
Well, I think that's kind of the thing about it. Ohio State beat Penn State. They beat another top 10 opponent earlier this year. I think it was when Notre Dame was ranked like 10th. They barely won that game at the end, but I think we'll see by the end of this, especially after the conference championships, Georgia will move to 1. We'll see what happens with this Michigan thing, because the sign stealing controversy is really gaining a lot of fire. And I've heard talks that like they might not let Michigan into the college football playoff because of what's going on.
I don't know how. I mean, with just the way, broadcasts are, they focus on these guys doing the signs. If you're watching film, don't you focus on that?
I know, believe me. Yeah, and everybody does it. But I think he's doing it to a whole nother extent. I think that's the problem.
Well, I mean, they already saw that guy that was doing it, going to the games, like had bought it was like over 10 tickets to their teams
and he was
shit.
at like Western Michigan or wherever it was last week. Yeah, so we'll see.
But again, I don't.
Florida State's one to watch out for, though, man. That Jordan Travis, I think he really there's some kids you can tell are going to be good in the NFL. Seems like he's really got a shot.
Yeah. And he probably won't even go in the first round.
Probably, yeah.
if he does come out this year.
Yeah.
But
let's get into the last week, man.
Oh, but before we do, though, I did want to talk about the jewelry theft that happened.
Yes. Yeah. Hit it, man.
Deion Sanders comes out after the 26-16 loss to the Bruins this last week and says 7 players had jewelry stolen out of the locker room during the game, apparently, which makes you think it's got to be some sort of an inside job. There's no way you could get all the way into the locker room.
Yeah.
With all the security and shit at the fucking Rose Bowl, one of the biggest, college football, arenas, if you will, stadiums, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
There's no way that somebody just snuck all the way in there without a little bit of inside help, I think.
Well, the first thing I thought too, it was in L.A. If nobody knew about this, Van Jefferson got held up for $1 million. Just in L.A. like a week or two ago.
Yeah.
You would think he could tell the mobber or whoever's doing it, dude, I play for the Rams.
Yeah.
I am an NFL player, and most times, someone can be like, "Oh shit, man, my bad. I love you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, take your watch back." No, like this is LA. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's a smash and grab city. And
Yeah.
so I saw it and I was like,
There
yep,
is part
that's
of me too,
UCLA.
because Dan's like, these are kids. They don't know about like insurance and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but they bought jewelry for tens of thousands of dollars. You're smart enough to do that.
Yeah.
You can't be like,
gotta have
I should
insurance for that
probably
shit.
protect that.
Yep.
But I don't know.
Well,
There was part of me that was like, because he's like, we want the NCAA and the Rose Bowl to pay for this shit.
to
And I'm just
reimburse
like,
them back.
do you need to bring that shit with you?
That's what I thought too.
Do you
man.
need to?
I see these
I hate to
players
be a dick,
playing
but-
with it, and I'm like, do you really need to have a
Dude,
huge
Shador, no offense. I mean, I love what the C is doing right now, but there is some stuff that's just like, all right, we're going a little too far with it. And there's reasons now why people are talking shit about you.
Exactly.
There's reasons why this shit's happening, because you guys are flashing stuff.
How similar?
He has a watch handler, dude,
Yeah.
that literally will bring him his Rolex when he wants to celebrate, and then he takes it and then like goes
Does
away
his
with
thing.
it. Yeah.
Doesn't this remind you of the Cowboys? The Cowboys tout themselves as being, we're America's team. They get so much hype behind them. Oh, we're going to be so good this year. And then they fall on their face. That's why everybody's laughing at them right now. It's almost the same thing, man.
I wouldn't say it. I get what you're saying,
It's
but
the
I
hype.
wouldn't
It's
say
that hype
it is
effect.
the hype. But I mean, I don't feel like they're leaning it like into it being like we're America's team, so to speak. But they do. It's like we said after they got punched in the mouth by Oregon. They smelled what they were. Well, even really the CSU game, they got too caught up on their own shit. You know what I mean? They're smelling what they got going, what they had cooking a little too much, and it bit them in the ass. So
Yeah, that's for sure.
but that's all I wanted to talk about that in terms of news.
All right. Well, the big story from college football over this past weekend was my Kansas Jayhawks.
They play football?
They play football
What?
too, and they play football really good. As far as right
This
now,
year, anyways.
the last I checked, their numbers, they're the 22nd ranked team, and they beat Oklahoma, who was number 6. I watched every bit of this game. Shocking, man! I couldn't believe it. Jason Bean, hats off to
They're
him.
actually 21.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you for
so,
correcting me.
look at that.
Damn, it's awesome. I mean,
Shouldn't have,
Yep.
but I did
and
because
it's
I
funny
care about you.
because I even put a parlay, and I know this sounds bad because I bet against my team, but I mean it's Oklahoma,
Yeah.
and I had to do a parlay, and so of course I thought they'd beat Kansas,
And ruin your parlay, didn't it?
but I ain't mad about it. I'll
Yeah.
lose that $5 any day, man.
Exactly.
It was fucking awesome. So that was cool. Probably the only big win they'll have this year, but it was the first time they've beaten Oklahoma since 1988, and then maybe two, yeah. Anyway, it was the first time they've beaten a top 10 opponent, I think, since like 1998 or. Fuck, I should have double checked these stats, but basically, it's been a long time since they've had a really good win like that. So.
Yeah, it was mind blowing to see them actually pull it off, which was just nuts to see because everybody, I think Vegas included, had them getting shellacked by Oklahoma.
The odds were not in
The
their favor.
Sooners.
Yep, and then other than that, it's not really a close game here, but at the time, Oregon was ranked number 6, and then Utah was 12, and they go into Utah and just lay down a hammer, man, 35-6. I think they
Yep.
showed everybody that, they slipped up with Washington, but they really want to be in this college football playoff.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've got a ways to go just on the rankings alone, but next year they won't when it goes to 12, right? Is it 12
Yeah,
next year?
next year it goes to 12. But I mean, that's just it. Is like any of these teams could take a loss and they would jump right up there. You could still get in there with one loss.
Yeah.
Just depends on who that loss is, and it was against Washington, who's number 5.
That is where it gets a little convoluted just because there are so many unbeaten teams.
That's why,
It's
at
like-
first I was really against the 12 team, but after
It does
this
make
year,
sense now. Like,
the playing field's been leveled a little, I think.
well, yeah, it's just like we have, 4? No, is there more than 4 unbeaten teams right now?
There's 5. Yep.
Yeah, so, yeah, there's not even, what if you go unbeaten and don't even make it the playoff.
I know,
you know
like
what
that's
I
what's
mean?
nuts.
Like,
It could
that would
happen.
be fucked up.
Yeah. Well, that's why there's times where like Alabama got in, and I was like, that's fucking bullshit. There was a team that was undefeated. I mean, a lot of times there was like Cincinnati or something.
Yeah. One thing I do want to mention real quick. Let me get to the rankings here because this one's pretty mind blowing. How about Air Force coming out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, being
cool.
ranked 25th right now? Also, by the way, undefeated.
Yeah.
Again, 25th,
Yep.
undefeated, 25th.
It's pretty fucking
How does that
awesome.
make any sense?
It's just strength. It's all strength of schedule, but it's
I
fucking
know,
cool.
but
Good
still.
for Air Force, man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy.
Dude, they're like one of the best running teams of like the last decade.
I remember when I used to play the NCAA game back,
Yeah.
like whenever I was in high school, and
triple option shit.
that's all it was, over and over and over again.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I did want to mention that because nobody else in Colorado is ranked right now, but Air Force, and they're playing Army this weekend for the Commander-in-Chief trophy, and they already have it. So I think they're probably going to pull it off.
We covered this one day where we found out that like there was another thing that was trying to call it the Commander-in-Chief Bowl, but they couldn't because of this. What was it we were talking about one day?
I don't remember now.
I know it. It's going to pop into my head like 20 minutes after you leave.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
exactly.
so
You're
weird.
like, damn it.
What the fuck? But just to preview this weekend, there are some good games coming up. USC versus Washington. Caleb Williams, can he actually win a big game? Then Mizzou, who's ranked 12th, is going up against Georgia. That's a damn good game. And then number 14 ranked LSU is going up against number 8 Alabama. That's always a great rivalry game. That should be a good one. And then K-State versus Texas. I think I saw K-State's 24th or something. So and Texas is 7th.
They're 25th in the AP top 25.
Yep.
And they're 23rd in the college football playoff rankings, which is very.
So I named the middle of them. I gave the average.
Yeah. Way to go.
Yep. So those are 4 games to pay attention to, and that's it for college football.
That's it for college football.
Let's cover the MLB.
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna cover 2 things in the NHL real quick. I'm gonna fly through them, and then because we need to call Greg shortly. Yep. So I'm gonna do that real quick. You were about to hear some Foghorn Leghorn noises. The Avalanche goal horn is going right now. Speaking of which, on the Avalanche note, Paul Stastny retires from the NHL after 17 seasons. He was drafted by the Avs in 2005 and ended up being one of the I guess kind of helped build the incoming guys that now got us to a Stanley Cup. Paul Stastny plays for the Avs from 2006 to 2014. He was then traded to the Blues, played there from 2014 to 2018, then went to the Jets in 2018. Went to the Knights in 2018 until 2020. And then back to the Jets in 20 to 22 and finishes up his career with the Hurricanes 22-23. So that would be this year. He does announce his retirement. So he had a great career. I meant to pull this up before. I'm slacking now. I'm screwing everything up. Damn it.
Just airball to 3.
So
off tonight. Oh my god.
Yeah, big ups to Paul Stastny. One hell of a career. His dad, Peter Stastny, was a hockey Hall of Famer who played for the Quebec Nordiques. So he did kind of get to play for his father's alma mater in the NHL as they became the Colorado Avalanche. So he ended up, I think in his first season, ended up scoring 78 points in 82 games in his rookie season and was nominated for the Calder Memorial Trophy. And then in the 2008 season was named to his first NHL All-Star game, but did not play because I do remember this. He had an appendectomy right beforehand, so he was not able to play. As a dual citizen, Stastny, that's a hard thing to say, dual citizen after or before Stasny, dual citizen Stasny, chose to represent the U.S. in the international hockey competitions, including the 2004 Viking Cup, the 2007 IIHF World Championship, and the 2010 and 2014 Winter Olympics. So he had one hell of a career. So big ups to Paul Stasny. The other news, though, is very unfortunate and one of the crazier things I've ever seen. I didn't really want to see it, but upon Googling what happened, it was one of the first things that popped up on Twitter, or X now, whatever you want to call it. Adam Johnson lost his life in a English hockey league, basically. I'm trying to think of what it's called now.
EDL.
Oh, the England Elite Hockey League. Okay. So the EEHL. He was playing for the Nottingham Panthers. He was a former Pittsburgh Penguin. He lost his life after a skate caught him in the neck. Do not recommend watching the video. It is very, very gnarly.
Very gruesome.
Yeah. The Penguins, though.
Lots of blood.
Yeah, the Penguins are advocating for neck protection in the NHL. Also, there's slash guards for the wrists that they're talking about adding as well, because you can get your hand run over by a skate as well. So the Penguins have now mandated that all AHL and EHL teams will be wearing the neck slash guards from here on out. And I did see something where they are talking about just maybe mandating it in all AHL and ECHL teams, because, this is something that's happened before. It's very unfortunate when it does happen. It's a super freak accident when a skate goes up that high, but, I mean, when it does, you're talking about basically a big-ass knife flying through the air.
A huge razor blade. Yeah. That's like a sword.
So, Adam Johnson, unfortunately, ends up losing his life in a freak accident, but it may bring forth some changes that will stop that from happening in the future. So while it is an unfortunate event, hopefully something good does come out of it. Chad, let's get into the MLB, though, because we need to call Greg real quick. He's going to be mad.
Juvenile delinquent in the offseason in his major league debut.
I said 6:45.
Oh, shit. He's just waiting.
Yeah.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
All right, so we are into the World Series. The Texas Rangers are taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. They are up. What's the score right now, Chad?
No, it's 0-0.
Well, they're up in the...
Well, they're, up
2-1
in the
series.
Is it
3-1 now?
3-1. They won last night.
Last night.
So
God
they could
it.
potentially win it here.
Last night was like 11-7, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was crazy. So they jumped out 10-0 in the second inning. Yeah.
That's a hard hole to dig out of.
Oh,
in the baseball world.
Max Scherzer left, and I think in the third due to back tightness. He's out tonight, and that's just something I bet
he's got a tweet back.
Yeah, won't get any more pitches the rest of the series, I'm sure. But the story of this series is Corey Seager.
Yeah, you mean Mr. October/November?
Pretty much, because he has the chance if the Rangers win the series, which 42,
it's looking like it.
42 of 49 previous teams with a 3-1 lead have gone on to win the series. Corey Seager could go on to be the one. He could join Sandy Koufax, Bob Gibson, Reggie Jackson as the only players to win 2-time MVPs. Because right now he has 3 homers in this series. He let's see who had. Last night Simeon had 5 RBIs and a 3-run homer.
You mean Seager?
No, Simeon did though.
Oh,
yeah. Seager had I think a double last night. Like, he's been batting out of his mind. He's had, like we said, 3 homers on it. Tonight, the starting pitchers are the rematch of Game 1. Eovaldi versus Zach Gallen. And like I said, it's 0-0, bottom of the 4th right now. There's 2 outs, and it's a full count up on Eric Carter.
Yeah, and you mentioned Reggie Jackson. This is Corey Seager's breakdown next to Reggie Jackson in terms of their postseason comparison. Both have played 77 games. Corey Seager has 19 home runs to Reggie Jackson's 18, and they are both tied at 48 RBIs. So the original Mr. October, Reggie Jackson, now has some company.
Yeah.
So
Corey
we'll see
Seager
how this is going to
steps
go. But it's looking like Corey Seager is going to get MVP, and the Rangers are going to wrap this up probably in gentleman sweep style.
Yeah, because they are the road team. They're 10-0 in the playoffs on the road, and they're playing on the road tonight. We'll see if they can close it out. And I think they'd make the first World Series championship in Rangers history. Isn't that right? Because all those years that Nolan Ryan pitched there, I don't think.
Dude.
Let's see. Let's Googleize it.
Let's see who's faster.
Yours is definitely faster.
Nope, they never have.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
They've made it there on 2 separate occasions.
'Cause I think I heard something one time that like Nolan Ryan, who had all of those awards, acclaimed one of the best, all those no hitters, but like I think maybe like 1 playoff win or something like that, maybe 2.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So
We'll keep you guys updated and we'll see how this goes tonight.
All right. Well, we are only 5 minutes late from what I told Mr. Gregory Maher when we would be calling this segment, which I did just realize I should have made a little cutscene thing for this segment, which we are calling Steak and Eggers with Gregors.
That's right.
Because when you win some good bets the next morning, what do you got to get? Steak and eggs.
And that's what we've always called him, is Gregors.
Yeah, Mr. Gregors, a.k.a. Gregory Maher.
Mm-hmm.
Brett Maher's cousin. All right, you're going to hear some ringing.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello, Greg.
Good evening, Mr. Gregory Maher. How are you, sir?
How are we doing?
Oh, fantastic. How is watching the World Series going for you? How's that chili you told me you're eating?
Oh, the chili, dude, it's delicious.
Are you
spicy chili, a little spicy.
Are you eating cinnamon rolls with it? I just saw something that people are eating chili and cinnamon rolls
That's
together.
what we did in grade school. That's what they always served us.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
Did you eat it at the same time?
Really?
Yeah.
Did you dip
I
it?
don't know. I don't like cinnamon rolls at all. But what I eat in mine is like I basically make a Frito chili pie. I put Fritos and like sour cream and cheese. That's the shit.
Chad's trying to get sued by Sonic.
Dude, I invented that shit. Sonic needs to pay me.
How you been, man?
Though, I've never heard of that. Is that that's got to be some backwoods Kansas City stuff.
I just heard
Maybe
something
so.
about it the other day, and I'm still very confused about it.
Yeah,
So
I think
need
it's
to
definitely a Midwest thing. People eat
further
cinnamon
research.
rolls with chili. Not my cup of tea, though.
I mean, it makes sense, I guess. They're both wholesome, warm things, but together, I don't know. It's strange.
Yeah, that's just I remember the first time I dip my French fries in a Wendy's frosting. I was like, yeah, this is it, and that makes sense.
Yeah, sweet and salt.
Yeah.
That's the way to
Cinnamon
go.
roll, chili? I don't know. That's too much.
I don't know.
It's maybe too savory, Speaking of savory,
Oh, God. Here it goes. Let's hear it. Let's get this over with.
how are you savoring the Broncos' win over the Chefs this weekend?
Dude, it is special. Special, especially knowing that Chad was there.
Well, no, we didn't go,
No, we
unfortunately.
didn't go.
What?
I hate to burst your bubble. I fucked up bad this week.
Oh, man. He dropped the ball big time.
Oh, last week.
I told him
This
it
week,
probably
too.
would have been a different result. I blame the Chiefs' loss on him.
I think we realize I am the jinx since we've been going, or I've given the tickets to Chad and Hannah. The Chiefs have just always won, and the one time we don't go, the Broncos win. So I think I'm the bad luck charm, Greg.
I think that's the way it
Unfortunately.
goes, man.
Interesting. This is a important development that's we're gonna need to talk about this further. We might need to experiment more with this.
Yeah, next year I don't know.
Oh, I'm going to make sure I go next year. I don't care if I go with you or not, man. I got to be there.
No, it doesn't matter if I go. You want me to go, dude. You should be buying me a ticket, dude.
That's true.
And
That's
begging
true.
me to go.
Yeah. But I got to hand it to you guys,
I
man.
didn't get to watch the game
What?
because I had to go. I had to be a good son, and I had to do an event down in Tucson for my mother, and I didn't get to watch
For
it.
Mama Maher.
But tell you what, dude, Patty Mahomes.
You had a
with no
reason-
touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
You had a reason
unfortunately.
not to watch it, though, going into it. I don't blame you for that at all.
But yeah, I hand it to him, man. I mean, you guys capitalized on the Chiefs' worst performance and Patrick Mahomes when it comes to DVOA, worst game in his career. So over the 5 turnovers, no touchdown passes, the Broncos did what they needed to do. Hats off to them. It sucks. I hate saying
Now,
that.
when did they talk about Patrick having Mahomes having the flu? Was that after the loss, or was
they said it before.
He had it
Friday. I think
Friday,
they mentioned it.
Yeah, Friday the news came out. I guess his family had it. That's why fucking kids, and he got it from his kids.
Yeah, but hey, you know what they say, man. If you step on the field, you're healthy.
Oh yeah,
you may be injured, but you're healthy.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's not an excuse at all or anything like that. But
Also, this is another crazy stat: the first time in 40 games that the Chiefs have lost by more than 5 points.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that counting the Super Bowl?
That's wild.
I think it's regular season.
Okay, yeah, that's got to be regular season. Yeah, because,
you guys don't want to talk about Tampa.
Yeah, because that's one of the only ones where he didn't score any touchdowns. But yeah. I mean, and Russell. I mean, you look at the box score. You wouldn't think that you guys won the game. I mean, he was sacked 6 times too, man.
Yeah,
threw for 114 yards. But the story of the game is the rushing game, man. Yeah. I would give any. We talked about it at work, man. Greg, I would give anything to have that offense. Like, I hate that the Chiefs don't run the ball like Sean Payton was, dude. 40 times.
Yeah,
that's how you win games.
Right.
Yeah. It's the way to go.
You know what? My favorite part is Mahomes was he was tripping a little bit before the game, saying, "Oh, I love playing in the snow."
No, I think you're thinking of a game 3 years ago where he said
he dominated, and he's like, maybe I like to play in
snow game. So I think that's what you saw was like a clipping of that. But yeah,
I thought I heard something him was saying because they were expecting snow. Because you guys got. What, you guys got about 6 inches out there? I know the field was pretty cleared off.
It was 6 inches in the grass, but it was like 80 Monday through Wednesday, so like none of it stuck to the ground.
No, yeah.
Really.
Well, I mean, even by the afternoon on Sunday, a lot of it had melted because it
was
Colorado.
still like 29 at kickoff though. It was a cold game, but it was great. And it's like I told Chad, dude, that's the formula for beating the Chiefs, man.
Yep.
Run the ball and keep him off the field. Mahomes had 2 possessions in the fourth quarter or in the second half,
and caused turnovers.
Yeah.
And you did sack Mahomes 3 times. Like, it was due to happen eventually. 8 years in the making.
2015, man.
Yep.
Well, Mahomes. I mean, he's been. We're seeing more. This has to be the highest interception season so far for him already.
I think 3 years ago. No, 3 years ago when they started off 3-4, he had more that year, but a lot of that was due to when wide receivers would like pop it up in the air. Like Tyreek did it like 3 times that year. Demarcus Robinson did it once. He had a lot of unlucky interceptions this year. I agree, it's his worst like interception to touchdown ratio, and when it comes to just decision making, I mean that interception he threw. And when he was trying to throw to Kelsey, I mean, how did he not see that guy right there?
I mean, looking at his interceptions right now, his most is 13. He's already at 8.
Yeah.
So I mean, he could beat his
because that year that they started off 3-4, he really tapered it off and stopped him. But I mean, the rate we're going this year, it's not good.
He might throw 16.
Yeah. I hope not.
I mean, in the last 3 weeks, he's had 2 interceptions per game, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he's had an interception, at least 1 in the last 3, because I think he maybe had 1 in the Chargers game, but just 1.
Do you guys wish you paid Tyreek?
No,
as fans?
I mean, we won a Super Bowl after him, so that's what everybody forgets is like it's still been a year since we had him, and we don't have any wide receivers now, but I was begging for it at the beginning of the season. Like, we should have went and got DeAndre Hopkins, and we saw what Will Levis, the Mayo Man, turn. DeAndre Hopkins is still there.
3 tutties.
Yep. He just doesn't have a good QB to throw to him. So we need a number 1, and to think that the big ego from Brett Veach thought that, we can do this without it and just run with these rookies and these unexperienced guys is just blasphemy. But, man, we're harping on the Chiefs too much. I do want to build up the Broncos because, I mean, they've been winning.
Jaquan McMillan, dude.
Yeah. McLaughlin, dude. Sarah McLaughlin's kid. Saving dogs.
Yep. Yeah, it was nice to see. It was a very nice surprise coming home from Tucson.
Yeah. Well, let's get into some betting stuff because you have been doing pretty good, haven't you? I mean, you got to go to the World Series game because of your betting excursions, right?
I do pretty well. That one was I saw a guy on Twitter who had bet Game 3 of the Phillies, and he had taken the alternate max over strikeouts for Ranger Suarez and for Brandon Pfaadt. and it was $140 to win $103,000.
Holy
and this guy
shit.
hit it.
That
And so, of
is
course,
nuts.
I joined this guy's Discord, and he's like, we're running it back. And I was like, duh, how do you not run it back?
You got to.
So it was like, I think it was $50, and I won $2,500. So that paid for World Series tickets for game.
That's
Game
badass. That's a
3
good way
here.
to spend the money, man.
Great way to
Yeah,
spend
that's
money.
cool.
But
Put it
then-
right back into the the degeneration.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
So,
what
no,
I was going to bring up was
overall
some.
doing well.
What? You're doing well, because it seems like you've been up recently.
We've been up recently.
That's good.
Good.
That's good. I'm happy for you.
The last time I was on here, I think I told you. I think it was Commanders.
We forgot
Cowboys.
about that. We're not even going to talk about it.
Yeah, it was the first time we'll call that a mulligan, okay?
Okay. All right,
Tonight
well,
we're gonna make it
mulligan.
easy,
I
and
love
I got some prop bets that like 3 of them I just want to bring up to you, and I want to see where you stand on them. And it's for Thursday night's game tomorrow night. First
Oh,
one.
Thursday night.
Yep.
Tell you
Tough.
what, dude, primetime unders have been just a blessing.
Yeah.
Prime time under. Yeah, hit
dude,
the under.
I stopped
every time.
I'm in a DraftKings league, and I stopped playing guys that are on Thursday Night Football because they're not fully rested. They're banged up. They never. I mean, you could look at. You could find stats, I'm sure, on this where like the numbers are never there for Thursday Night Football. These
No.
guys never really show
No.
out.
No, they're tired. They're just not ready for it. I mean, I just wish they would. I hate that there's Thursday night games. They need to get rid of it. But I mean, it's too much revenue.
Yeah. And it's enjoyable. Like I look forward to it because then you got Monday Night Football. You wait 2 days, like Monday or Tuesday and Wednesday, and then you get football again. It's great, but then the product is. I mean, we see a perfect example is Al Michaels' reaction. Al Michaels is sick of it.
He
man.
doesn't even care.
Yeah. He's
Let's
just
not
getting
forget
paid.
the COVID year when we had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and
Sometimes,
Friday night
yeah.
football.
Oh, that's right. They got weird with it.
Yeah.
Well, this Thursday we got the Titans at Pittsburgh Steelers. The first one I want to bring up to you is the new man on the field, Will Levis. Right now, the over-under for his touchdowns is 1.5 at plus 215 odds. Do you think he's going to throw 2 touchdowns?
I doubt it.
Really? With Mika Fitzpatrick
Yeah,
out too?
I don't see it.
Dude, this is like the 28th ranked pass defense they got in Pittsburgh right now, and they just lost Mika Fitzpatrick.
Now you're talking him into it.
I'm just bringing up stats, man. Bringing up stats.
Chad's bringing the stats.
It seems like
Yeah,
a good one
but,
to hit.
I think with I always err on the side of caution on a Thursday night, and I
I
always
hear ya.
expect a low scoring game. I expect it to just everyone's moving slow. I mean, yeah, I like the under honestly,
Okay.
but that's just my opinion. That's certainly not something that I would touch.
That is a little bit of a tough one because here's what I'll say too. Now they have a game's worth of video on Will Levis, and we'll see if that maybe affects it too. Maybe we'll see some things people catch. We know what he's doing right here just because of a little hitch in the giddy up or whatnot. So
Could be.
I could see that one going either way. But if you're gonna say don't touch it, don't touch it.
All right, we'll stay.
Not
away from
even
it.
with Yo Dick.
It's tempting at that plus 215 odds.
And I'm a degenerate, dude. I'll pretty much bet on anything.
So yeah, if he's saying don't touch it.
All right,
maybe
we're staying
not.
Away from
Stay
it.
away
Bet
from
the
it.
under. The under's at minus 290 for Will Levis at 1.5 touchdowns.
Well, I mean, if they're saying minus
What? Is that
290,
minus 190.
No, minus 290 for the under.
so they're saying it's going to go under.
Yeah.
Oh,
Greg, you might have been right just off of that odds.
here's what I'll tell you. That there is no value there. That is don't even touch it.
Yep.
Yeah, well, because
that's why I bring up the over because just 2 touchdowns. I mean, he had 4 touchdowns in
4,
his first
yeah.
game, actually tying Fran Tarkenton. And I was going to bring this up when I cover this game later, but Fran Tarkenton, one of the coolest names in NFL history, and the old Titans quarterback Marcus Mariota is the only guys to have 4 touchdowns in their first NFL start. So we'll see if he can keep that trend going.
we'll have to look and see what their second game was, though.
Yeah, that's the key thing there. All right, the next one I got is George Pickens, man. Over under 53 receiving yards. It's at minus 113.
What is the total yards again?
53.5.
53 and a half.
You know, it's all Vegas always knows these guys is average, so he's been hitting that. But he had like a string of like 3 100-yard games before last week, I believe, against the Jags defense, which the Jags defense is really legit.
See, here's my opinion on that, right? Is because either he's and like, I think he's just going to have, because he's taking how many percentage of the receptions is he? I mean, he's pretty much being tossed to constantly.
Yeah, he is a number one.
Yeah,
he
gets a lot of targets.
I mean, if you're looking for value and that's who you think is going to see a lot of activity, you're taking an alternate spread, probably at closer to like 60 plus receiving yards.
That's what I like to do, is pick those alternate totals.
And that puts you at even money. And I just don't see, to me, the difference between, 52.5 and 60. We're talking 8 yards, and you're
talking one catch, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to turn that, because right now it's at minus one.
You're talking about completely removing the vig, and that's a plus 120 as opposed to a minus 115. That's my play there.
Yep.
Is alternate receiving yards at 60 plus.
Yeah, go up to a nice round, even number.
Great advice there. And the big thing, too, is the Titans have one of the best run defenses, but their pass defense, and they just got rid of Kevin Byard. So
yeah, they're already down one there.
Yeah, they're down a guy there, too. So it's one that I would probably set the alternate to 60, and then, I bet that would be, let's see if I could find the alternate receiving yards. Here it is. Yeah, 60. You're at plus 116. So yeah, you're just gonna make, you bet $5. You can get a little money back.
Now,
Graydon's bet $5.
Here's what I want.
I would.
Here's what I'm curious about. Let's talk about DeAndre Hopkins.
All right. You want to hear what his bets are at? What do you want to say?
Well, I know where he's at, but I mean, in the last. Where's he at as far as the last? Let's see. Yes, on October 29th. So this last game against the Falcons, he obviously was a stud. He played awesome. 4 receptions, 128 yards, 3 touchdowns. Unreal. October 15th. What day was that? Was that Sunday? Okay. For some reason I thought that was a primetime game. He's his last 3 games. 2 of them have been over 100 receiving yards. Against the Ravens, only 20. I was going to say, I love his alternate receiving yards, but my only concern there is he going to be rested? And, I mean, he put up such a big game. Is he going to be able to produce the way that he did against the Falcons? But you look at 80-plus alternate receiving yards from DeAndre Hopkins at plus 270. To me, there's major value.
What platform are you on?
I'm on DraftKings.
Yeah, I'm on FanDuel right now. Damn, because
he's been saying DraftKings generally does have better odds.
Yeah, because it is at plus 230 for FanDuel.
So I shop both of them.
Yeah.
I have FanDuel, I have DraftKings, and sometimes I'll look at Caesars, but their props suck. I shop both of them. But yeah, DeAndre Hopkins alternate receiving yards, 80-plus, plus 270. To me, there's a lot of value in that. And if you were going to go after anything outside of the under, obviously, then that's what I'd be looking at.
I think that's a good one to take.
Yeah, one quick thing, though. Did I just see DeAndre Hopkins is questionable right now?
Ooh, for real?
There is. I think there's an injury tag on him.
Yeah, it does say questionable, but I can't see what it is.
Let's go to Sleeper and find out.
Hold, please.
It was. Oh, it's toe.
Oh, it's his
That's
toe.
right.
Damn old turf toe.
Yep. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Just still so questionable. Most times, like it would have let us know he's.
I have a feeling he's gonna play.
I would imagine so.
He's gonna play,
especially after last week and dominating. He wants to go out and show he can do it again.
I guess he didn't practice at all today, though.
He's a veteran, though, dude. It's Wednesday. Vets take Wednesdays off all the time, especially in the middle of the season.
DeAndre is notorious, too. Yeah. He doesn't practice and still goes out there and balls out.
That is a good play, Greg. I do like that. Taking the alternate on him and Pickens.
Yep.
So we might have to touch on those and see if we win a little bit of money.
Now, here's what I am most interested in right now. Let's talk about NCAA football and service academies.
Okay.
games. Service Academy games since 2005 are 41-9-1 in the unders. That's an 81.6% win rate for unders.
Yeah, so you're talking about Army Navy or Army Air Force right now, aren't you?
Army Air Force, yeah. Those are just notorious low-scoring games. And I took Air Force Navy under. Was it last week? No, it was 2 weeks ago. And it was stupid. And you look at that number and you're like, okay, 31 total points. And you're like, this feels uncomfortable.
It does.
That's so low.
College teams can fall out and get 2 touchdowns, just fall out of bed.
I know. For college, you're just like, wow, 31 and a half. And I'm sitting here hitting the under button. Like, this is gross. But it has such a high win rate. And there's something about it that it's like, it's hard to not continually follow it.
What did you say they are right now? 42?
30. Oh, it's the Service Academy unders are 49-1.
49-1. Holy shit!
Nuts. Seems like
that almost makes you
deal.
feel like you should hit the over though, because
They're due. Yeah, well,
you could easily play the
2005.
Yeah, that's wild, man. That's a crazy stat. 49-1. That nuts.
I mean, and the crazy thing is, Air Force is also they're a ranked team.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. What are they, 25 now, 24?
Yeah, they're 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, when they played Navy 2 weeks ago, the total points was 23.
Damn.
Jesus.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
right now 31.5 at minus 106 odds. And then minus 114 for the under.
That's on FanDuel.
There was only seven. There was only 7 points in the first half.
That's crazy.
Damn.
I know, isn't that wild?
That is wild. Well, I think that we'll call that your lock of the week right there.
That's a good way to put that. Hit the lock button.
That's
No,
it.
you will. I will.
You're right.
Greg won't
You
hear
make
it,
a good
but
point, Chris. The over is due, but sometimes you just gotta. The trends are there.
It's
and
locked.
You can't go against it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good call. That's a random one, but not a lot of people would be talking about that. I dig that.
So yeah, bet the under on the Air Force Army game this week. That is Gregor's lock of the week.
Lock of the week.
There we go.
Hit it.
Lock it in.
All right, man. We'll let you get back to watching the World Series, hanging out at home. You have a good night, and we'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, gentlemen. Good talking to you.
All right, you too, man. See ya.
Toodles. Well, we went way over with Greg.
Yep.
But it
We
is
sure
what it
did.
is. We are now at that point. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be a little bit longer on this episode, but you know what? It's better than when we started, and they were like 2.5 hours long. So
Yeah. We've way better content.
yeah, we've got a lot better. So you are about to hear, if you are watching after the fact, the Deer Creek Sharpshooters. The name of this song is High Up on This Mountain. So Deer Creek Sharpshooters are a cool bluegrass band out of Denver. The bass player of my band, Mr. Daniel Petrino, plays stand-up bass in this
that's
band.
awesome.
So he rips it on that
I'm psyched to
stand-up
hear it,
thumping
dude. I
on.
love bluegrass. You know I'm into that shit.
So yeah, Deer Creek Sharpshooters, High Up on This Mountain. For everybody watching on Twitch, we'll be right back. See you guys shortly.
Yeah, I'm high up on this mountain, about to go downtown. Yeah, I'm high up on this mountain, about to go downtown. I don't know which way to go. Well, the only way is down. Yeah, I'm walking down that path. It's a treacherous way. Yeah, I'm walking down that path. It's a treacherous way. Well, I hope I can get down by the end of the day. up in the snow. Maybe I should follow them. Yeah, there's tracks up in the snow. Maybe I should follow them. Well, I'll make tracks of my own, and I'll get down when I can. Place and time, and I don't know where I am. Yeah, I lost my place and time, don't know where I am. Looks like I'll stay here for the night, and in the morning I'll try again. But I'm lost up on this mountain, so I let out a big cry. Yeah, I'm lost up on this mountain, let out a big cry. Looks like I'll be up on this mountain. Yeah, I'm stuck up on this mountain. Yeah, I'm high up on this mountain.
And we are back. If you were watching or listening after the fact, you just heard Deer Creek Sharpshooters High Up on This Mountain. They are a great band out of Denver, Colorado, rocking that bluegrass stuff. Like I just said before, the bass player from my band, the Born Readies, Daniel Petrino, is the stand-up bass player of the Deer Creek Sharpshooters. You can go find out all the information on them at dcssbluegrass.wixsite.com. That's Wix, WIXSITE.com/DCSS. You can get information on where they're playing next, what they've got going on in terms of music, releases, and stuff like that. As always, most of their songs are available on all streaming services, whether that be Spotify or Apple, whatever you get your songs on, you know.
Hell yeah,
all
man.
that stuff, yeah.
Thanks for bringing them on.
No worries. Glad to have them, and they will be here with us for the rest of the month. It is time now for the NFL Deep Dives. So give me 1 second while I get this going right here.
Yeah, he got hit with a left hook by his own guy. He was looking at his ear hole for a minute. This isn't a good sign.
Okay?
That might hurt already.
Your partner knocked your head off.
Your partner knock your head off.
Get old John mad.
Yes, sir. So here on this show, we do like to highlight the basically the good and bad things about sports, and I am going to highlight the bad things about the NFL this week because I am deep diving the New York Jets versus the New York Giants, which a lot of people are hailing as one of the worst games in most recent history. The New York Jets do end up winning this game 13-10 in overtime. But, nearly 60 minutes of football had gone by before the Jets did damn near anything on offense. It looked like their plays were being called by the head coach of the Broncos of last year. You know what I mean? It's strange how that works.
Kind of looks like it, huh?
Yeah, but then out of nowhere, Zach Wilson comes out and throws two great throws that wound up leading to two field goals to clinch the game. After Graham Gano for the Giants had a chance to theoretically end the game in the fourth quarter, with the offensive output to that point being next to nothing. He missed his second field goal of the game, his first coming in the second second quarter from 47. He missed this one wide right from 35 yards. Wide right from 35 yards after Dabble elected to kick it from the 17. Dable. rather than go for it on 4th and 1. Wilson then hit Garrett Wilson and Alan Lazard on back-to-back 29-yard passes and spiked the ball with 1 second left in regulation. That set up Greg the Leg to kick a 35-yard field goal on the last play to tie the game and send it to overtime, where he then kicked a 33-yard field goal with 6:09 left in overtime after the Jets moved the ball 46 yards in 6 plays, and a pass interference call on Adoree Jackson ended up setting them up on the 15.
Yeah.
Robert Saleh didn't trust his offense whatsoever and decided to roll the kicking team out there on 1st and 10.
Oh my God. Let's get this game over with.
Let's get out. We got to go, guys. So he rolls the kicking team out on 1st and 10 to bring it into the defensive onslaught that had been on both sides of the ball, well, on both teams, basically. The Giants, they have issues. Tyrod Taylor, like we said earlier, left the game with a rib injury that ended up him needing to go to the hospital. Tommy DeVito comes in and was not allowed to throw the ball whatsoever. In fact, he ends up with -1 yards total on what was it? 2 of 7.
I think he owed the mob some money.
Yeah, at one point, the crowd was chanting, "Let him throw it," and they did, and they were all wide receiver screens behind the line of scrimmage.
Playing it safe.
But they did decide that since Tyrod Taylor was out and Tommy DeVito was in, they were going to run the hell out of the ball.
Yep.
And Saquon Barkley has 36 carries for 128 yards in this game.
36 carries.
36 carries.
God damn.
But the sad part is, Dable came out and said after the game, we ran it almost every play, tried to win it the old-fashioned way. Even with that many runs, I mean, you look at it, 36 for 128, he still only averaged 3.5 yards per carry. It's kind of very good average. But because both of these defenses came to play, both offenses in this game ended up going for 201 yards of total offense.
That's sad. That's
the entirety of both offenses put together. 8 first downs and 0 for 18 on 3rd down. Speaking of defense, the only other shining star for the Giants was Kayvon Thibodeau, who finished the game with 3 sacks.
Yeah, he had a big game.
Yeah, the Giants look to get right against the struggling Raiders in Las Vegas, and the Jets take on the Chargers Monday night. So we'll see what's going to happen. We might see some changes with the Giants soon. I'm not entirely sure. Dable could be
That was a really
hot
horrible.
seat
I think
soon.
that's the big story from this is him not going it on 4th and 1. I mean, you're running it 36 times, and yeah, you're not going to go for it on 4th and 1. I mean, what are you thinking? You could seal up the game and then decide to kick it, and the guy misses the field goal.
Yeah. I mean, Zach Wilson, like we said, 17 for 36, 240 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 carries, 25 yards rushing. Breece Hall, 12 carries, 17 yards, 6 receptions, 76 yards, 1 touchdown receiving. Garrett Wilson, 7 receptions, 100 yards. Tyrod Taylor only got 4 passes, 7 passes total, but he completed 4 for 8 yards and 5 carries for 33 yards before Tommy T.D. DeVito comes in. So,
yeah, and the big stat that I took away from this game is the one that everybody couldn't believe, which there was 15 punts in the first half.
Yeah.
That is horrible football to watch.
Yeah, I mean, the 8 first downs in total, you watching the Chiefs, you guys usually get that in
sometimes in a drive or something.
In a half,
yeah. I mean, dude, it was tough. Like, watching that game on Red Zone, they, barely showed it. And
it's just field goals. And
yeah, I think I heard on Monday when it was being recapped, Zach Wilson, the Jets didn't get a first down until, that last drive where he took them down there to tie up the game. That's horrible,
and
man.
One of them was basically on a
and it's nuts. I love a good defensive
pass
game,
interference,
but it was just ugly,
Yeah, no, the defenses played well, but yeah, the offenses were just so bad. It's not like it was defenses stopping good offenses. It was just terrible offenses struggling against really good defenses, and this is what the outcome was. So.
It's frustrating, man.
Oh,
But the
no.
Jets come away with the win, and from what I hear, Rodgers is coming back this year. This is what I hear.
Dude, that video of him prior of just him dropping back and throwing the ball, I'm like, it doesn't even look like he's hurt.
I think it was a spokesperson for the Jets or somebody that worked for him that said it's not if he comes back, it's when.
Yeah, they're basically saying if they're in contention week 16, he could be back.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Nuts, man. You know everybody's going to be doing this Achilles thing if it works for him.
Kirk Cousins will be back in 3 weeks, and he'll be like, "You like that? You like that?
You like that?" We need to get that. We need to get that soundbite. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into your deep dive, Chad.
All right, I took Atlanta versus Tennessee. I want to take this because this was Will Levitz's breakout game.
Yeah, the birth of the Mayo Man.
That's what he's going to be dubbed as. This dude wasn't afraid to throw it deep. He connected to D-Hop for 4 catches for 128 yards and 3 tutties. What?
Just 4 for 128.
Yeah, isn't that a nutty stat line? I mean, his first one I think was like a 56-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
But I had heard that before the game, and maybe it was when he was interviewed after the game or something, but it was basically like he had said, he's like, we need to get the ball to DeAndre more. And that's what he decided to do.
Yeah.
You know?
They both had mayonnaise in their coffee that morning.
Yeah, he was like, dude, you got to try it.
Just try it, man. I'm telling you. It's delicious. It's
But
eggs.
on the Atlanta side, Desmond Ridder finally got benched. This is a guy that had 3 red zone fumbles the week before, had another fumble in this game, and was hit and had a concussion, but clear concussion protocol, but they decided to just keep him out of it. He was sacked 5 times just in the short amount of time he was in the game. Tyler Heineke came in for him and just did, basically all right. Kind of started to bring the Falcons back, but it was never enough to really take the lead. The Falcons were able to rack up 140 yards on the ground between like 4 or 5 different guys running the ball, and that's against one of the best run defenses in the league too.
Yeah,
the Titans. So, yeah, something to be said for there. And Derrick Henry, 101 yards on 22 carries, finally had a decent game.
Yeah, we've been waiting for that all year, really. I mean, but this offense has just been so bad. I think we can basically, just from what happened this week, I mean, Tannehill, they were already talking about trading him. I think they probably wanted to, but I think this injury kind of screwed them on getting rid of him.
Yeah.
But, yeah, now with Will Levis having a breakout game, 4 touchdowns, like 300 and some yards, I think.
Yeah.
I don't see how you can't roll with this guy. Obviously, Malik Jackson is not the answer.
Oh, Malik Willis.
Malik Willis.
Yeah.
Sorry, Malik Jackson's the
Malik Willis was getting
defensive
boos every
lineman.
time he came out there.
So, yeah, he's doing terrible. And Will Levis, who was basically drafted and then stuck in the third string position, now maybe the savior. So
yeah, he may be. I mean, I always hand it to a guy, kind of like Brock Purdy and stuff that comes out there, even like Tyson Bagent the week before. Bagent, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just like these guys to have the confidence to go out there on the biggest stage on an NFL stage and to perform. It's not easy to do, so hats off to them. And the really impressive thing that I took from this with Will Levis is that he got to his second read, as opposed to a lot of these guys like Justin Fields and these young QBs that stare down their first read and go to him, and if it's not there, they panic. He got to his second read and would check it down, had a beautiful ball to Treylon Burks that just got broken up, it was a really beautiful ball to Treylon Burks, but he just didn't catch it. But, yeah, I think they really might have found something in Will Levis.
I mean, it's definitely opened up the offense because even last year, I mean, the passing offense if they didn't have Henry going, they were terrible.
Oh, yeah. It was awful last year.
The offense went with Henry, and now if you can find a way to make the offense go without Henry and then have him to just sledgehammer people.
That's why you go out and you get D-Hop. I mean, this is a guy that still can, like we see, can perform. Like I said, I really wanted the Chiefs to get him last year, but, we see what it is. It's just like if you can get the ball to him, this is a guy that can make things happen in space.
Yeah.
Yep. That's dread power.
Dread power. Dreadies
right.
unite.
I've always been a fan of these guys like fucking DeAndre Hopkins and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. But that covers it for that game.
Nice.
Atlanta next week. Who is it that they got? But we'll go ahead and move on to the DDOE.
Yeah, we can roll into that while you check that out, and we'll touch on it. Well, wait, what is it? They're playing Atlanta.
I know. Dude, the internet's slow right now. I'm trying to stream this game too. That's what's bringing it down.
Let me get you there. Schedule.
Probably faster on my phone.
Atlanta is playing Minnesota 11 a.m.
Oh,
on
that's right.
Fox.
Because I picked up Atlanta's defense because Minnesota's starting Jared Hall.
And
That's
then I think Tennessee's on bye.
Yep. Oh, no,
right.
Tennessee's playing Pittsburgh tomorrow.
Oh, shit, that's right. It's Thursday night. Because I'm looking at Sunday.
Yeah.
God damn it. I'm like, they're not playing on Sunday. Yeah, it's because they play tomorrow.
Yeah.
Real quick, though, I did want to mention this before we move on. Oh, God damn it, dude. I'm moving it after this. That's
awesome.
twice today. Did you hear about University of Houston getting that cease and desist from the NFL?
The NFL
You better
you
not.
got too close, man.
You better not.
The NFL does not fuck around with that shit.
We decided they're going to wear those 2 times this year, so guess what you can't do? Wear them ever.
Yeah. And it was pretty fucking close. The only thing that was different was the helmets.
Yeah, it's an homage, dude. Just don't be a dick.
I know.
NFL,
Well, that's the NFL.
Whatever.
They fucking shut that shit down. It's
All right. Well, while I did mean to hit the DDOE, I did not get to introduce it. And right now, you were about to hear the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. John Daly himself, and he's about to hit it hard, man.
I hit it hard, man. So far, man. No laying up, no holding back. Ain't afraid of nothing, it's a natural fact. I hit it long, man. Till it's gone, man. Keep taking chances, living large. I hit it hard.
That's right. We hit it hard every week here on Fringe Fanatics. We're gripping it and ripping it, and we're sipping it. Although I'm out of drinks, and I think Chad's out of tea, maybe. I can't tell for sure. We're doing a little bit of a drier episode this week, but
true.
It is time for the daily dose of excellence. Chad, why don't you get started on this one?
All right, this week we're gonna hand it to Inte Hwang. He from South Korea and fell in love with basketball there, and really kind of a unique guy that really wanted to get into refereeing. Fell in love with basketball there, and there was a senior, like a staff there that really wanted to help him out, and so he got him into the NBA's referee development program. But he didn't have a full-time job in it yet. The NBA just said, here's an invitation to this development program. He was still living in South Korea, uprooted his family, moved 7,000 miles to New Jersey to possibly become a referee.
Hope that he can be a referee.
And ended up doing really good for the G League. And the NBA noticed him from him doing FIBA games over there. And so he has reffed G League games and WNBA games, and is now he's basically an alternate for this upcoming year, where basically if there's a ref that falls out and it was sick or something like that, he would be in line to get called up. So
yeah, and you were saying earlier when we were talking about that, he actually completed what was supposed to take 3 years and like 3 months or something like that?
What they call the RDP, the referee development program, normally takes 3 years. He did it in 18 months. So, yeah. Yeah,
that's pretty crazy. What?
I was just going to say, where was it? He talks about like basketball is an addiction.
It didn't take him 3 years. It took him 18 months to do it.
Yeah,
I just threw out the 3 year, or 3 months because of the 3 years. So I just, throwing things at the wall here, seeing if they stick.
Yeah, he said, officiating is kind of an addiction, Hwang said, describing his first experiences in the profession. After every single game, you feel so bad. People were yelling at me. What I read in the rule book, I forgot during the game. It was terrible. I wanted to get better and better. I want to be perfect. But now I've learned my classes I've learned from my classes that we cannot be perfect. We can only be excellent. It's a great quote. I dig that.
That is a great quote, because you're basically saying in excellence, you can still be wrong.
Yep.
But the development, you basically said he uprooted his family. The development program paid Hwang a salary, but he wasn't guaranteed a full-time job when he decided to move his family. So it was a huge gamble.
Post too?
Yeah.
Nice.
Are you reading the same one?
Yeah.
Are we on the same one? How do we pick the same one? Are you on? I'm on HN Fire Digital.
Oh, I'm reading this from the Washington Post.
Well,
Yeah.
look at that. They all have the same thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's just an amazing story of bravery and just deciding to the courage to uproot your family and move 7,000 for a possibility at a job. Not even like it's guaranteed.
Yeah,
that's something there.
And it's also cool to see the NBA just broadening their horizons. I mean, they've got more women referees.
Yeah.
I think they were one of the first to have women referees. They've
I believe so,
been the
yeah.
first to have women coaches. They
Women
also
commentators, Doris.
Yeah, Doris Burke, one of the great commentators, women or man.
It's my
incredible.
preference.
Yeah. She does an incredibly good job calling games. They also had the first trans referee this year too. So I mean, the NBA has always been on the forefront of change, and it's just nice to see them embracing it as they can, no matter what. I also just do like that they have a development program for referees. I know that probably the NFL does as well, but I feel like these guys are, with as much as you're on the road, you have to be a full-time referee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's just something we keep talking about. The NFL needs to go towards. But
yeah, the NBA has their own. They have issues sometimes for sure, but I feel like the NFL's referee or development program is probably just a room with a chalkboard and X's and O's up there, written up there, and they just kind of tell them, do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Find out who's got the money line, who you want, and go towards that. Because basically, we can do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
I think that's the way it goes.
One other great quote I feel like he said, though, was, "My goal is that they don't mention the referee. I feel good when they finish the game without any yelling." But so yeah, it's just, I mean, we've always said that, though. A referee's best game is when they're not talked about. So
Yeah. It says here too, life is completely different in Fort Lee, where he's living now, but we found a big Korean community, so that's really cool. Probably a lot of good food there.
Yeah, I
Banh
bet
mi's.
so. Yeah.
Ooh, you ever had a banh mi?
Banh mi, the little fucking dough balls with meat inside, dude?
Oh man, no, you're thinking of something. Banh mi's a sandwich.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of the rice
I know
buns.
Yep, there is a word for that. I can't think of what it is now. Yeah. Korean
yeah.
food's delicious. Korean
Korean food's
barbecue.
awesome.
Oh,
Korean
fuck
barbecue.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So
Yeah.
hats off to Inte Hwang.
Yes,
I hope
indeed.
you get when he gets his first NBA game this year. We will definitely.
Let's
keep
hope
you
it's a
guys-
Nuggets game.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. We'll keep you guys
Yeah,
updated
we'll keep
and
you updated,
give
keep
another
posted.
little hats off to him.
Indubitably.
Yep.
Well, we are at that time of the episode where it's over. We went long on this one. We almost got to 2 hours, hour and 50 on this one. So we appreciate you guys as always. Make sure you tune in next week, as we will be back next week.
Yeah.
With a lot more sports talk coming at you live.
Covering week 9.
Yes, Chad Lee.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thank you guys. I love you, buddy.
Love you, buddy.
And I'll see you tomorrow at work.
Sounds good. Bright and early.
Yeah,
Bright and early.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, guys.
Farewell.
We'll talk to you later. Smooches.